I wasn't comfortable in saying as black women, because I'm like, oh no, don't stand out. Why are you saying that? Were you saying that? But it's the reality.
Yeah.
And Dubai, of all places, has made me become really comfortable in my blackness, in saying, yes, I'm a black woman.
Yep.
And this is who I am.
Let's talk DXB. Real conversations by real people. Madeline, firstly, I just want to say thank you so much for coming in and doing a Let's Talk conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Because we've only spoken once, I just want to learn a bit more about you. When I looked up your profile, and I agree with this statement, not your typical lawyer. Now, I've been in the legal industry for, 8-9 years doing corporate comms and marketing. So you come across a lot of lawyers. It's becoming a bit more diverse, but there's a lot more to be done there.
Yes.
And from looking at your posts, you're on Threads now as well.
Yes.
So you're threading. And you posted more about being authentic and really embracing who you really are in the legal industry, which is male-dominated, predominantly white, male-dominated, as we know. But it seems like you're just very authentic and true to yourself. So tell me more about you and how you got into law and your upbringing.
So I was born in France.
Okay.
Lived in France until I was 18. My parents are from a country in West Africa called Guinea-Bissau.
Yes. Yeah.
Very small country, great country. Born and raised in France. They came over for us to get an education. Have 2 older sisters, and moved over to England. I was a dropout at school all the way to 18. I then moved over to England to be a nanny.
Oh, right.
Surprisingly. I was a nanny for 2 years. I was an au pair. And then I was learning English at the same time because I wasn't speaking English at the time. Monjac, which is my mother tongue, and French were my 2 main languages. So then I learned English. By the time I was 21, I started uni in Bristol. And then it started from there. I remember my first lectures at uni, I used to record them on a recording machine. We didn't have mobile phones then, or at least I couldn't afford them.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. I trained, qualified first as a barrister, and then went through the qualifying lawyer status to become a solicitor. And yes, it's an unusual journey, but an amazing journey. I am so grateful for everything that I've gone through. I qualified as a teacher, though, also in England, which is how I now have been lecturing for 7 years at Middlesex University here in Dubai.
I didn't know that. Okay.
They've got a great legal campus.
Yes.
So I've been teaching family law there for, it's the 7th year that's about to start.
Whoa.
So different.
Madeline,
sure.
I did not know this, obviously.
Yes.
What a journey.
Yeah, no, it's, and that's why I like these forums where people are able to see first that it's possible, whatever your background, whatever your color. Yes, it's going to be harder, whatever your religion. I say to my students are 3rd year law students.
Right.
And I say to them, no matter what your name sounds like, what your religion, what your color is, where you come from, if you work hard enough and you have the right connections, because it's also about connections, but you can make those connections, you can get there. And I'm proof of it. I really am a proof of it. And there is a few of us, and when I say a few of us, I mean, in terms of black female lawyer, there's a few of us in the city. There's Tenji Moyo, who was employment lawyer of the year for the IFC.
She's doing great.
There is Emily Archery, also employment lawyer, who's just made partner at a major international law firm. But there's a few others around.
Fantastic.
And we mentor. I see Tenji is a lot about mentoring. And she mentors a lot of younger girls who want to become lawyers, whether black girls, not black girls, it doesn't matter. If you want to try, then she gives a helping hand. That is so inspirational. I didn't know that this is how we were going to start. That is fantastic. And even just encouraging for me, because obviously I've been in corporate marketing for 14 years now, legal for about 9 to 10 years. And it's not as diverse as it probably could be. It's getting better, but we're not there yet. But I'm encouraged. I don't know if it could have been worse though.
Wow. I don't know.
We'll be going back in
Yeah.
time. But I think as black women in Dubai, and this is what I was saying about that post on my roots, before I wasn't comfortable in saying as black women, because I'm like, oh no, don't stand out.
That.
Why are you saying that? Were you saying that? But it's the reality.
Yep.
And Dubai, of all places, has made me become really comfortable in my blackness, in saying, yes, I'm a black woman.
Yep.
And this is who I am.
Yes.
Right? And it's important. Now I realize how much of a duty we have. I know we're going left here.
No, this conversation is as open as I'm learning a lot.
I understand how much of a duty we have as women from all sorts of fields, but even more so as black women here in Dubai, because professional black women probably, and I mean, when I say professional, I mean in suits, we are maybe 5% of the female black population in Dubai. Yeah. Generally, they will, if I have to go into a bar, they will think that I am either a ladies of the night, not to use the P word, or that I'm a nanny that's lost her way. Yeah. I remember when I moved into one of my first apartments in the marina, I wear a typical African house dress in the house. Yes. And this guy comes in, the security guard, and he knocks on the door. Black guy, Nigerian guy. Okay. Comes in and he knocks on the door and says, tries to look behind me. Says, where's your madame? I was like, what do you mean, my madame? And I didn't understand then. Yep. But where's your madame? I was like, what do you mean, my madame? He says, where's your madame? Like, there's no madame here. Where's your husband? Looking over me. Wow. Because I was in the doorway. Where's your husband? I was like, there's no husband. He's like, what, you live here alone? I was like, yes, I do. I live here alone. And I remember him, and we've become great friends then, but I remember him walking into my apartment, checking if there were petitions first.
Really?
But literally walking in great disbelief that a black woman will be living there by herself. And I said to him, I know what you have there. That's my tenancy contract. If you check the name, it says Madeleine Mendy. Whoa. If you look at it differently, without the background of Dubai, I won't say Dubai, but without my own background of making it through ranks where I'm not expected, you could be offended. Correct. Or if you hear the story now, you could be offended for me, but actually, no, you can't be. It's where we are at, and that's where we start. Yeah. If our own black brothers see us and believe that we cannot be anything other than someone who is married to be able to have an apartment or has a madame, as in I'm a nanny,
in our own community,
then what can you expect from the others? And this is where the work starts. It's where the work starts. That's why these forums are important, because we have to occupy this space. Sure.
And be more vocal about it.
And say, look, we're here, we're black, and no, we're not ladies of the night. Yes, we work, we're qualified, sometimes we're overqualified. And I was going to say we are black, but there shouldn't be a but. No. We are black and we are European. Yes. We are black and we understand cultural. We have empathy. Mm-hmm. We have been brought up with two sets of cultures that have enabled us now. I walk into a room, I can take a step back and think, right, this person's comfortable, this person's not comfortable. Why? Because I've had to do that all my life with both of my cultures. Wow. And that's a talent that people overlook in thinking, do I want the black person? And I see when I first came to be employed as a lawyer here, I'm grateful to my employer. It's called Firaz Al-Shufi, is a Syrian man. But I remember walking into that office the very first time. I was in 2013, 2012, 2013. A black female lawyer, unheard of, and he took a gamble on me. And I'm forever grateful to him. Yeah. And grateful to all those people that took gambles on me along the way, because you need people like that take gamble. It shouldn't be a gamble.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be a gamble. But the reality and the reality has made it that it is a gamble for them, not for us. Yes. Because I know I'm going to deliver. But for them, it is a gamble. I mean, and you can only honor those people.
Yeah, it's strange because I would definitely get it. Others may be watching this because the Let's Talk is for anybody
Yes,
that, you know,
of
finds
course.
this. It's very diverse and I
Of
want
course.
it to be diverse. But one of the reasons I set this up, went through a very hard time, divorce. Dubai is that way where it can be very pretense, you know, and I'm going through divorce, thinking about my son's school fees, where I'm going to live. I need to get a new car. I just started a new job in a different law firm. And people are telling me about the latest brunch and drinks. And I was just like, no. And then equally, it was very much, I'm a black lady, single mum in Dubai. And these titles, a lot of people will be like, what are you talking about? But they exist and judgment is there very much. Not just in Dubai, it's everywhere. Unconscious bias, conscious bias, it exists. And I felt that firsthand coming to Dubai. I remember I came young, fresh, 26, 10 years ago, went to a very senior managing partners. He had a housewarming, beautiful house, beautiful family, English family. And his wife said, oh, what brings you here? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm young and I want to progress. And she was like, good luck. You're a woman and you're black.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to say.
It's true.
But it was facts. And she's a white lady telling me this. There was reality and honesty there, but equally I'm just like, oh, you had the nerve to tell me this.
But at least she was really frank.
At least she was real. And I knew it deep down, but you tried to ignore those voices. So it's so important to have these conversations.
It's the bottom of the pile for us here. But at least Dubai is transparent on that.
Ah, very true.
Because many places, it is always the bottom. It has always been the bottom of the pile. But we pretend. Here, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to work hard, you become a partner in a law firm.
Yeah.
Like many of my other female black friends. But it's about merits. And here you have merits still. If you work hard, you can make it in Dubai. And for me, that's priceless. Compared to everywhere I have been, I've lived in Europe, I've lived in Thailand for a year, I've lived in different places in the world. And I haven't found a place like Dubai where merits is still currency.
Very true.
I see where I've started off when I came to Dubai to where I am today.
Yeah.
It is about merits. And that we can't overlook.
Yep. Yeah.
We can't overlook. And it assists. And this is why this forum, when people come in, and it's different kind of women. I come across a lot of women through my work, but also men.
Yeah.
And I encourage, regardless of the skin color panel, from white, pale Scottish man to as dark as someone from South Sudan.
Yes.
We all come across the same issues when it comes to divorce and family law. I have never had a client come to me and say, I'm not going to listen to your advice because you're not what I fit as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. People come for my expertise and I deliver on that expertise. And my color is secondary.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that because then it's the same level playing field.
Yes.
But of course, as soon as I remove the Madeleine Mendy lawyer hat and I decide to walk around my area with a house dress, or with just a normal African dress,
perception.
Then perceptions are different.
Yeah, correct.
Completely different.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's so everywhere. Everywhere. No matter what the religion, I teach. I used to teach at Sunday school for 7 years.
Oh,
here.
okay, yes.
And I never told anyone I was a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Not even my students.
Yep.
And parents will come and pick up their kids in the church, and it's church, right? So you would expect.
So you think it's just like there's no bias and everyone, nobody sees color or judgment.
And they would raise. I mean, I remember one with misplaced a hat or whatever, and the way people would talk to you, and you're at church. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. And I remember I used to say, one of my friend Louise, who I was doing Sunday school with, her, like, I'm going to say something
because it's so hard.
But then of course you're on the cover. Right? You're on the cover. Forget about Madeleine the lawyer. Here you're the Sunday school teacher.
Exactly.
But yes.
I guess it's human nature, right? Unfortunately.
It is human nature.
And even for me, just creating Let's Talk, obviously I'm a black, British, Ghanaian lady living in Dubai. And what I found is, in terms of mediums in terms of being profiled. If you go in the media, the major platforms, radio stations, I don't see that enough diversity.
Yes.
And I want to have someone in the sofa that has African background, Indian background, is
Yes.
English, and just have very normal conversations that we all face to remove a lot of this kind of bias and discrimination around it. So yeah, it's very interesting.
I see when I look at my clientele, my clients, most of my clients are from Western Europe. Most of my clients are British, men and women. When I do pro bono work, it's mainly women.
Yeah.
I also have a lot of amazing men as clients. For some reason, I get more of the men, and another colleague in the city gets the wives. But when it comes to family law and when people are aching, and I would say hemorrhaging, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The
They
pain
just
is
come
the
in.
pain.
I remember 2 main clients that have become good friends now, who one of them had come in his uniform, pilot uniform, straight from a flight. And he was hemorrhaging. And all he needed was for me to be able to say, you know what, we're going to do this together and it's going to be okay. And that's why also I say it's not the typical lawyer, because a typical lawyer will have to be, look, and this was on a Saturday, I remember. So we had to go into the office. My brother had come over from Australia. And I literally said to my brother, right, you're coming into my office. We have to see this guy. He needs my help. And that's why I say to people, even on my Instagram, I'm not a typical lawyer, but I want to identify. And I identify, that's the word at the moment, but I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
I don't care what the problem is.
Amazing.
I know we're going to find a solution together. Whether it is purely family law or other things, we can work around it.
Amazing.
To find a solution. And I think if you have that attitude as a lawyer, you can do so much more for clients.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to family law, when it comes to law that are personal to people.
Yep.
You have to have a fixer attitude.
It makes such a difference as well.
Have clients who come in who have run away from home, have nowhere to stay. Well, you have to find a solution for them. You can't just say, all right, thank you for my hourly rate. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Doors are closed and try and find a solution for where to sleep. You have to step up. And yes, it's not under, if I look at my regulation, which is the solicitor regulation, the Solicitor Regulation Authority in England.
SRA, yeah.
Your law, you are supposed to operate within certain boundaries.
Yeah.
And that is true. But also what we do as family law lawyers, if you operate just on those boundaries, you're leaving empty shells.
But not everyone thinks like that.
No.
You know, and that's why I'm literally absorbing what you're saying, because there's so many people that do just think about, also, I think it's also protecting that they don't get too far in, which I get.
Which I understand.
But equally, these are human beings. It could be anybody that goes through this. So how do you close your door and switch off? I'm a big empath. I absorb people's emotions. When there's something happening, I feel it. It. And I find it very hard to not get too consumed in situations. So you come across a lot, and you're trying to help that person. And I think that's what makes you a good lawyer, because it's beyond billable hours.
Yes.
This is my time.
Yes. You're fixing someone.
Yeah.
Someone comes in and says, Madeleine, this is my situation. I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Help me.
Yeah.
And you have to find a solution, not just in the legal realm. And I often say this to my client, and if some of them listen, they'll know. I'll say, right, I'll give you the lawyer's answer.
Yeah.
And then I'll also give you the real life answer.
Fantastic.
And then you choose whichever one. At least I've done my work and given you the lawyer answer.
Correct.
But we also have to be practical in what we do. Even in mediation.
Yeah.
I mediate between couples sometimes.
Okay.
And you have to be practical. You really have to be practical in trying to find solutions. Otherwise, you just take your money and you go.
Yeah.
But family law has always been my passion.
I can tell.
Yeah, always been my passion. I've been, since I was 11, I knew I was going to be a family law lawyer.
Was there a reason why? Like, or it was just something that, because you definitely I can sense you're a people person and you feel for people and you want to help. But was there?
I think in the way I grew up in France, we grew up my parents were really hardworking parents.
Right.
Families around me, very hardworking families. We're living in a council estate.
Right.
And like a lot of council estates in Europe in the 80s, there was a high concentration of immigrants.
Right.
And I just felt the way our parents were being dealt cards, those cards were not right. And I just had that passion from day one. I remember at 13, 14, 15, I would go and sit in the French tribunals. You have cour correctionnelle, how would you call it? A magistrate's court.
Okay,
but
yes.
they were open to the public. And I would sit there for hours listening
Wow.
because I loved it.
At that young age as well.
Yes. I mean, you wouldn't engage. You'll sit in the back.
But just take yourself there. Kids these days, if it's not Instagram.
No, take the bus. Remember, I'd take the bus. Sometimes I would even create fake tickets to get on the bus.
What?
To get there.
You are living in your purpose then, because this is
No, I
literally,
love it.
yeah.
I really love it. Yes, you need to have a balance. I do struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I carry my clients wherever I go.
Yeah.
If someone just says urgent, I'll pick up my phone wherever I am. I've called clients at 3:00 in the morning. Have I called with clients when I was in New York on holiday? I was in Bosnia last week. I'd spoken to clients. If they need me, I'm there.
That makes a good lawyer.
I think it just makes a good human being. And people always say to me, how do you do this? You see also these cases. On Wednesday, you'll never catch me on Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Yep.
English time. Why? Because I have an hour with my therapist.
But you would need to.
And
because
it's constant. I've seen her. I saw her when I was younger, when I was about 27.
Right.
To deal with bereavement in my family. But then I took a small gap, and now it's a constant.
Yeah.
It just can't. That's why I believe in therapy. It grounds you. And in a way, therapy, church, mosque,
whatever it may be,
praying groups,
Yep.
whatever that enables you to go within yourself.
Yep.
Take out the weed that's growing there and that's not supposed to be there. That enables you to just spend some time with yourself and reflect. It's necessary. It's definitely necessary.
Wow. Well, that's encouraging me because, that's also my kind of mummy break. I get to kind of go into a room for 1 hour and just release and be quite vulnerable, which is hard to do.
And you yourself.
Yeah.
It's important.
Madeline, this conversation.
I know we've gone off.
I want to stay here forever. I know they're going to kick us out and be like, your time's up, but thank you so much. And just your journey. I never thought that's how you got to this.
Yes. People are often surprised. They think, from the accent, maybe she's gone to a boarding school or...
You have to write a book. You need to write a book. This is fantastic.
At some point.
Well, how do people that are listening to Let's Talk find you? Your social platforms, what's the best way for them to reach you?
So they can reach me on Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
It's Madeleine Mendy Legal.
Yep.
Or they can email me, although my email is extremely long. But if they reach us on Instagram, then it feeds back to me. So this is fantastic.
You're doing great work. I feel like you're living in purpose and you're very passionate about what you do and you're very authentic. So thank you so much. This is going to help a lot of people.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Let's Talk DXB. Real conversations by real people.